Hello everyone. Time for a bit of a live feed. Why not? What I'll do is I'll quickly send out some invites because that's what we do here. And I better send one to bloody Neil. Because if I don't, he'll whinge about it. Neil, invite. Lovely. Okay, back. Wicked. All right, look out. People's joining everywhere. MD's joined us. Robert's joined us. Thanks for joining. Tony's joined us. Tony, geez, you're early. Another Robert's joined us. Tony says, what's up, mates? Robert says, g'day, Johnny. Robert, howdy, Buster Brown. Who? Ryder's joined us. Chris has joined us. We're going off here. That's a low rider RC. This one? Yeah, very low. Bob's with us. Hello, Bob. Uncle Bob's here. Everything's going to be fine. So while we wait for some of you guys to roll in, I'm going to have a look at putting my little racing gear. Robert Golan, you might want to pay attention here, because hopefully this all goes to plan. I'm going to put my little gear here on this bad boy. And once, if that all fits properly, this car is a runner. I do still have to order my body posts. I want to get a full magnetic body post kit so I can put the body on, etc. So yeah, there's that. So I'm going to refresh my memory, take this motor out, put the gear on, put the motor in, and do stuff. Robert, I'm watching carefully. I reckon. Hopefully it fits. If it doesn't, I'll swear. Off stream, of course. Stream. Feed. So yes. Also going to do what came in the mail. Ordered a heap of scale accessories lately. They turned up. Right. Take off this gear, put it in my top drawer so I don't lose it. What servo are you using? And this, I forget what it even is, Tony. I can't even see. I think it's a Samwire servo that I had in my drawer. For a car like this, it doesn't need a big, powerful servo. It honestly, 2 or 3 kilos heaps, because generally speaking, one, this car's really light, and two, when you're steering with a car like this, it's moving at a decent rate of speed, so it doesn't take much effort to steer. Robert says, it better. I got the same pinion. Lol. Knife. Scalpel. So yes, it's a fair bit bigger, Robert. A fair bit bigger than the previous one. Let me just put this grub screen so I don't lose it, because that would be terrible. Alright, make sure that's going to go through nicely. Back it back out. Lovely. Robert Bellin just joined us. Thanks for joining, Robert. So, for your benefit, Mr. Golan, if I can find that one I just threw in here. Is it that one? No. Oh. Right. That's our size difference, Robert. It's compared to the original one I got, it's a fair bit bigger. So I reckon we're going to be pretty sweet. I reckon. I hope. Okay, so that's going to have to be back in a bit. Right, so I'm quickly going to put this on. And hopefully that'll all work sweet. That might even go on backwards. Maybe. Let me try that first. Try it backwards first. So what's everyone up to? There's not heaps planned for today. It was just Hannah's gone out, Tamara's at school. I thought, you know what? I'll tinker with my RC a bit. I'm going to have to put that on afterwards because it's not going to go through the whole poop. So, Robert, you have to put your motor in first and then slide this on, it seems. So, I'll grab one of my bolts for the motor. Chris is on lunch, but it's about over. Unlucky. Brennan's joined us. Tony's at work. Do you work, Tony? All I ever see on your Facebook's food posts. Look, I'm at lunch. Hey everyone, guess where I'm having food now? John Davies is with us. Hello, John. Right, that one's in there. Make sure that's going to line up. That will line up there. We hit. All good. What size was that? I've got nuts and bolts here everywhere, which is good. That means I've got plenty of spares. That one, lovely. If it can go wrong, it'll go wrong on a live feed. Bet your ass it will. That's the only time it goes wrong. Even like this bolt here, I can't put that through the spur gear, which I should have known. That has to go through the mount, and then you put your driver, Robert, pay attention, you put your driver through the spur gear so as you can do it up. If I can get that to there, sit where it's got to sit. Thanks, Brennan. I blame you for this. Tony, yes, I work to pay for food in 2.2 wheels. Bloody hell. I should have seen that coming. So bear with me. If I go quiet, it's because I'm concentrating. That's the official, what you do when you're concentrating. You go quiet. Okie dokie. Put that there. Take that other screw off there. It's magnetised to the motor. Do I own a pit mat? Yeah, I do. I own a few. They're just, I'm using one for a mouse pad for my laptop. I've got another one. So, dude, I've got so much RC shit here. It's not funny. All right. You guys get to see the clean, tidy part of my RC side. The messy, McShite everywhere side, I like to keep private. I do. I own a few RC Mart pit mats. Right, put that one in there. Just loosely for now. Now, that slides onto there. We can rotate that round. Where's my motor facing? I need my motor facing upwards. So the flat spot on your motor spline, Robert, have that facing upwards, because then you can access it through the top rail. Now I'm gonna rotate my gear so that my deal is facing upwards. Not going to over tighten that. Don't want to go stripping it. Dennis just finished SP4 build for a local hobby shop display. Nice. Tell your hobby shop they need to let people drive it. Tony, that doesn't look easy. Because as silly as it sounds, because I'm doing it on a feed, I'm probably making it look harder than it is, Tony. Right, so now, hopefully I can loosen these back off a bit, slide my motor forwards. That does fit, but I need to move my gear in a bit more. Wah. Set that there. Tighten that up there. Right. Bear with me. Lots of concentration face going on here. Not that one. Ed's joined us. John, plugging away in your Mammoth. How you going with your Mammoth, mate? I'll tell you what. That might work better backwards. Let me just try it. And then this way, when Mr. Robert Golan goes to put his on, he can see if it works better backwards too. It might be easy for him. I'm new to these little cars, the RC Express ones, so I'm still learning. Too far. I think we're pretty sweet there. think. It's not touching the belt, which is a bit of a necessity. You don't want it touching the drive belt. That bolt there is a bit of a penis to get to. There is a different bolting option I could possibly use, but I mean, that one's in there. So, like I said, I'm probably making this look harder than it is. I think I finally decided on the colour. What colour are you thinking, mate? I'd love to know. Did you decide to go for the pink? Right, if I'm correcto, if I'm correcto, I should have a shorty pack here somewhere. Shorty pack, I use these in my demon, for those of you playing at home. I'll whack that in there. Yoink. That can go in underneath that strap, the balance cable that is, just so it doesn't hang out the side of the car. Yoink. And that can plug into the battery cable that I have to fetch out from where I shoved it. LiPo 3S, don't need. There's an extra gear on the desk. Yeah, there is here somewhere. I put one on the desk. That was the little one that I took out. I should have took this out before I stuffed my battery in there. Come out. Again, if anything doesn't go to plan today, we can all blame Brennan for saying that nothing ever goes to plan on a live feed, and this is true. Car is turned off. Plug battery in. Turn radio on. I'm going to go to model. Close but no. Seaside. I'll post a picture of the test pic. Awesome. Awesome, mate. I want to see what colour it's going to be. What channel? What model? Race. I think that's what it was. Now, I don't know, I've said this before, generally speaking, when you've got a phone recording sound, it sounds a lot worse on the phone than it does in person. What you're probably hearing is rapage of your ears because of how close all this is to the phone. It's actually, that sounds pretty spot on to me sitting here. So, Robert, yes, that does fit. That's the 13 turn motor. Let me just tuck this little receiver wire away so I don't chew it to pieces somewhere. So finally, this little RC Express car is a goer. Too many projects on the go, all the time. Lol. Tuck that in there. Lovely. That way it's out of the way. Good-o biscuits. Lovely. So now we've got... That's going to go like a shower of poo. So wicked. Lovely. Awesome. I reckon you're going to have a lot of fun with that setup, Robert. The drag brake's not, I mean, you can see how quick it stops itself. That's pretty dang good drag brake. Now, I haven't changed the settings on the ESC. I believe it's got a... I actually don't think it has a drag brake setting. Maybe it doesn't. Something I do need to do, I can see straight away, is adjust the steering trim, which I can do really quickly. Trims, steerings... Is that? Nope, wrong way. My rims and tyres arrived today. Awesome. What rims and tyres did you go with? I honestly can't remember. Oh, they're just there. Awesome. That servo's a bit noisy. That's what you get for grabbing a servo out of your drawer. Alright. I think that battery's flat. Cheers. Anyway. So that's her. She's a runner now, which is good. I'm happy about that. No, turn off. Lovely. HPI Vintage 5-spoke. Cool. Are they 1.9s or are they the M size? Because that's what you call the M chassis style size wheel compared to a 1.9 drift style wheel. They're a little bit smaller. So this will lose a bit of speed, which is fine. I don't care. I don't want this to be an absolute rocket and smash it into a wall. Okay. I'll take this battery out. Wicked. That can stay there. Now, for those that haven't seen it, I've still got a bit more to do in this body yet, but this is the little body that goes in this car. Sits sort of halfway like that. Now these wheels pretty much are display wheels. Alright? I'm just going to use these wheels for display. I'm going to use these wheels for actually driving it. And what I want to do, since I've done all the body work, I haven't seen it with these wheels, I don't believe. So I'm going to put these wheels back on, because they're going to be the drivers. Neil, what did I miss? Everything. Everything. Now once I put these on, I'll give you a bit of a sticky beak at what turned up in the post for me this week. And then we'll look at... Someone said on my post, where I said tips and tricks, someone said soldering. So if you'd like me to do a little bit of soldering so that you can see the basics of soldering, we can do that. It's an important skill to know. Are they directional? Crap, I think they are. Directional. Right. Yes. No. No. Yes. Yes. Tony, that's what I have show wheels. Yes, Tony, but my show wheels cost me $10. Okay? They cost $10 because it was these are the wanky wheels to put on the shelf. I'll possibly go out and just throw a bit of a drift with them as well, but for the most part, those wheels are just for the shelf. For $10, who cares? Your show wheels are not cheap, to be fair. Tony wants to see the bumper. I should send you a picture of the bumper, Tony, and you can make it your cover photo or something. How about that? There, right, lovely. So yes, it's nice to have this little car going. Now that we've got the correct gear and such on it, I'm a lot more likely to finish the body. Quite frankly, gonna have a full-blown racing live feed coming up soon. Now, I shared a post the other day in regards to the new racing hack moto crawler motors, right, which I'm pretty excited about. So I've gone and ordered one of each. I've ordered one of each of the motors. I want to test them. I want to see what they're like. I want to tell you guys what they're like. So what's going to happen is, when that stuff turns up, is probably when the next live feed will be. We'll have a look at them, go over them. I've also got some servos coming. I've got some ESCs coming. All racing stuff. So I essentially jumped on RC Mart and did a full racing order. Lovely. Did a full order of racing stuff and figured, bugger it, let's just do a racing live feed. The body is sweet. The body is sweet. You guys picked that body. I really quite like that. Some of the decals aren't as sticky as I'd like, which was a little annoying. Some of the decals, like on the ends and such here, the little bonnet scoops, I put a little dab of glue underneath the end and then just stuck it down because that's pretty dusty. Because I just didn't want to sit down as well as they could, which is a little annoying. But for the price of the body, for what you get, they're still bloody nice. I mean, that's the body that you guys voted for. So good job on that. You picked a pretty nice body. Hex, Wheelie Hex. Sorry, radio. Turn that off so I don't flatten my battery and waste those. So yes, full blown racing live feed coming up. There's also going to be another special live feed coming up soon with a truck reveal, brand new truck that no one's seen. No one's seen it. So big stuff on the horizon. I'm pretty lucky to have the opportunity to go over these things. I don't want to give anything away, but stay tuned because there is going to be a unboxing review. Then there's going to be YouTube videos, Instagram photos, the whole deal of this new truck that's coming out. It's not a cross truck either. Okay. I mean, as soon as Cross announced something, I go, "Oh, fellas, look, new cross truck." This one's not a cross truck. But yeah, that's going to be pretty exciting too. Robert, I'm looking at getting the ABC Celica. See, I looked at the Celica too, Robert, and I was like, oh, is that the Mustang style Celica or the one before that? I like the Mustang style Celica. They were a pretty cool looking little car, I've always thought. Right, so that's that there. That's a mean looking little car. Love it. Oh, just look at it. Obviously the body will sit up a little bit so that we can hit a bump without knocking this off the front of the car. I've yet to still do the bumpers. I have painted the bumpers. I've just got to paint the mounts and such and put those on. Then there's a few other decals, and then I'm going to have a look at possibly running the RC Express decal on here somewhere. Because, I mean, it's the whole thing's RC Express, obviously, except the body, which is ABC. But, yes. ABC Hobby makes nice bodies. I have the Skyline 2000 GTR. They do, Brennan. They make really nice bodies. For the price of them, they're pretty hard to beat, honestly. I've bought a lot of bodies, and especially M chassis bodies. You used to race MO5s. I've got the old MO5 here. For those of you that like a blast from the past. And it's here because I've been cleaning stuff up, moving stuff around. This thing has seen some miles, I'm telling you. We used to race these on foam tyres. These are about shagged now. If you race on these foam tyres and then you let them sit for ages, they just go to crap. So keep using them if you're going to put foam tyres on your car. Now I love this car. I do. I should buy a new body for it. Maybe that can be another project at some stage. Just buy a new body for this, put the steering linkage back on and get it up and running again because I had so much fun with this car. I really did. I bought it second hand for $70 and I must have gotten thousands of dollars of fun out of it. They're just so much fun. And that's why when RC Express said to me, you might like the Express chassis, having seen that, you used to use the MO5s. And I went, check the thing out, would you? Let me just tidy that up. Check that out for a chassis. Full size 10 scale diffs. That's a beast of a chassis. And it's full drive. The MO5 is front wheel drive. I have noticed. That there. No, it's tight. Good. So yeah. Awesome fun cars. Robert won one of these in the competition, the last competition. They're only $99 US for these kits. So if you want a good fun little kit to build, they go together really easily. I mean, it's a pretty thing to look at. It is a pretty thing to look at. The motor I'm running in this is a 13-turn Racing brushed motor with the Racing 1060 ESC. That ESC is like, I think it's on special now for about $14 on RC Mart. So if you're going to build a car like this and you want a simple, fun setup, I mean, if you want, you can smash a brushless in it and go nuts. But if you want to build a nice car that you can drive and just enjoy watching, for some people that'll sound dumb. For others, they totally understand what I mean. Sometimes it's nice just to drive a car and watch it drive. it's a scale thing, I guess. So yeah, I'm excited to to take this thing for a run. It's going to be a barrel of laughs. Yay. Brennan, I want one now. Can totally recommend them, dude. Can seriously recommend them. They're a nice kit. They are a nice kit. They'd actually be a good RC present for someone, as silly as that probably sounds. If you know someone that's into RC and they like building stuff, $100 US. Most of us are going to spend that on a present anyway. So, Brennan, I run racing Hacktronic and Hackmoto motor my drift car, and they've been great. Good. That's excellent. I've run a lot of the Hackmoto motors over the years. Actually, I'll get it. Oh, no, I won't. There's too much shit up there. The SCX10 8x8 that I built runs a 21-turn Hackmoto motor through a 5-to-1 planetary transmission through the SCX10 transmission out of the drive shafts. And I mean, that thing hauls ass. Torque forever. Not for days, forever. So that is ready to roll now. I love that. When I say roll, I don't mean roll over. I know I will, but I don't want to. Awesome. Wicked. Right. I'm going to have a swig of my coffee, because that's what we do here. Just going to move some of this stuff. And then I'm going to show you what turned up in the post. Something that didn't turn up in the post. I jumped on frontlinehobbies.com.au, ordered spur gears for the Viterra. For some dumb reason, they come in packs of 2. I can only assume they're expecting you to chew these things to pieces anyway. $10 for 2 spur gears, cheap enough, who cares? I'll order some. It's said on their website, in stock, lovely, ordered, send them to me. I get an email 5 days later, oh sorry, we haven't got any in stock. It's going to take us 10 to 15 days to get them in stock, then we'll post them out. No, that won't do. So first thing I always do, jumped on RC Mart and had a look. Unfortunately, RC Mart doesn't have Viterra spur gears. So that sucked. So then I jumped on A-Main. They had some, I think it's costing me $11.84 US, so it's about $13, to get the same 2 spur gears shipped to my house, and they were shipped within, I think, 6 hours of making the order. Pick up your game, Frontline Hobbies. Really disappointed. So what do you think about shocks or crawlers? Yeah, they definitely should have them, Tony. It's a bit of a must. Okay? You got to be more specific, mate. Like, okay, here's what I think. Too much flex is a bad thing. Shocks that are too stiff is a really bad thing. I'll tell you what, I've got shocks here off the Camel truck. I've been doing a bit of a rebuild / maintenance on the Camel. Let me just brush some of the crap off the shock. By crap, I mean dirt and sand and whatever else I've been driving through. Dust and nonsense. Bear with me. Won't be a second. Okay. Shock Basics 101. Now, these are the shocks that are on the Camel truck. Now, these have got the reservoir setups, etc. Obviously, the hose isn't connected right now, but that doesn't matter. With your crawler, your crawler shocks, is this going to wind or is it stuck because it's dirty? It's moving. It's a bit stiff. Hang on. Tony says brand. I can see that you said brand. If you can help it, don't buy really, really cheap shite shocks. I know a lot of them might be okay for 3 months, but then after that they'll probably just turn to crap. The Racing Desert Lizard shocks are good. I've had a lot of the extra speed shocks. They're good. These are the Demon shocks out of the rear of the Demon. I actually put some shorter ones in mine, so they're upright and I get less flex. These are the Demon shocks and they're just bipping delightful. Oh, I'm into that. So smooth. Okay, here's the main thing with shocks on your crawlers. I'm going to purposely do the biggest mistake you can make with a rock crawler shock. Now, it's going to take me a little bit because, one, The threads are full of dirt. This happens. Right. I'm just going to keep winding this down. Keep winding it down. Very fine threads on the cross shocks. Okay. So now you can see I've wound this right down, which makes my shock really stiff. That there is the biggest mistake you can make with a crawler shock, and your on-road cars too. If they're too stiff, as soon as your truck side hills and hits the slightest bump, it's just going to push itself over. Okay? So do not do this. The best thing you can possibly do is start with this wound all the way to the top. Now, when you've got it all the way to the top, the shock is as soft as it can be, depending on how you've done the oil in your shock. Does that matter? Yes, it does. If you completely fill your shock with oil, it won't move, and your truck's just going to fall over because it's got no movement. Okay, so that's how we want it. Nice and soft. It will absorb the bumps. Let the truck move properly. Okay? And you can see how smooth that is. Delightful. With your shocks, I've done videos on setting up demon shocks because a lot of people had issues with setting their shocks up properly and the truck was falling over. One, it's a complete hard body truck. You have to, you got to take that into account. A Lexan body truck will side hill, or should side hill better than a full hard body truck. When you put the oil in your shocks, don't fill them to the top and then put the lid on. Okay? That won't let your shaft move properly. It'll move about this much and then go really stiff. Your truck's going to fall over. Start by half filling your shock. Right? Put the lid on. Don't tighten it all the way. Tighten it so it's, I don't know, 3/4, maybe a bit more. Then push the shaft all the way down. Slowly bring it all the way back up. Then tighten the top. Try that. Mark my words. You'll go and drive your truck and you'll probably send me a message and you go, dude, my truck is so much better now. I mean, unless you already do that technique. But that's generally the best way to set up your shock. It doesn't matter what brand shock it is. Set it up like that and you'll be Mickey Mouse. If your truck's really heavy and you find that that's too soft, open it up, put a little bit more oil in it. Like this much. Like not much. Tiny bit. Put a little bit more oil in it. Do the same thing. All the way in, all the way back out. Do the top up. Take your truck out and run it. I mean, run it for an hour. Don't run it for 2 minutes and go, oh shit. Run it for an hour. See what you think. If you still think it's too soft, come back. Put another 1 millimetre of oil in it. That's how you're going to adjust your shocks to make sure that they're as good as they can be for what you want to do. Brennan says, good tip. Awesome. I'm just here to try and help people. So, I mean, look at that. Oh, you squeeze these all day. I love how these shocks run. And these actually, I will say, where's this truck? Ugh. The shocks on this truck are even better. I didn't think it was possible. But, I mean, it's just delightful. And I think it's because of not just the shock itself, obviously, but the compound of the spring, the fact that this has got a lot more coils. Because it's got a lot more coils in it, it allows the spring to sort of dampen and work in different ways than a standard shock block, wherever the one was that I just threw on the table. This one. So this has got probably half the coils that this one's got. So it's going to do half the work, if that makes sense. It won't react to as much as what this does. These, I mean, I beeping love driving this truck and I need to get it out more. It's just, if you want a Lexan body truck, it's hard to describe. It's like watching a spider slowly climb over a rock. So good just to watch this thing drive. 10 out of 10. Would buy another one. That's how good they are. I love it. Love that truck. Yeah. So hopefully, Tony, that helps you with your shock advice. If you get your shocks and you have any issues, send me a message. All right. Who was it? John Davies messaged me the other day at 3 in the morning. He was lucky that the dog woke me up to take him outside. So, but yeah, look, shoot me a message. If I don't reply straight away, don't get upset or think I'm ignoring you. All right. We're not teenage girls here. Just It might be 4 in the morning, and if I'm awake, I might look at my phone and go, not now, dude. I'll talk to you in the morning. So, right, so that's your basic for shocks. If you've got any other questions, hit me up with them, and I'll do my best to answer them. Now, I'm going to do how-to video on soldering, how-to video on beadlock wheels. I'm going to put together one of these on the video, which is the Cross RC SU4C beadlock. I'm going to put that together with the Cross Black Rock tyre. I'm also going to pull a wheel off the GC4 and possibly the PG4L. I know, John, I'm only staring you, mate. I'm only staring you. So we can put one of these together now if that'll help anyone. We can do a few quick tips and tricks. They're actually really easy to put together. Yeah, so I'm going to do a video on how to do beadlocks, soldering, what else? Someone said about how to install lights and stuff on your bodies. I might do one on that too. I've got a light kit for that truck there, but unfortunately in the post, one of the lenses cracked. So I said to Robert, look, when I do another order, which is probably going to be pretty soon because I know what I'm like, can we just throw another lens in? So I don't want to install it without the lenses because that'll just irritate me. I'll wait until I've got a replacement lens. BECs, yes, I'll do that too. I've got one sitting in the drawer here. I don't know what truck I'm going to put one on. I mean, technically none of my trucks need one. They all run pretty Mickey Mouse as it is, but I will do one. I can help with 2.2 wheels with 1.9 tyres. Anyway, Tony, what did you say? How tall are those tyres? I forget. I hope it says so on the side because I can't remember. Doesn't say, Tony. The Pitbull Growlers 1.5s. I want to say that 3 point... I might have a ruler here. That's a novel idea. I might have. Might. Do have 105 millimeters. You can convert your own inches for that. They're a bloody good sized tyre actually. And with these tiny cross diffs, you still got plenty of clearance. Brennan, have to go for dinner. Hope you all have a good day / night, depending on where you're watching from. Cheers, mate. Thank you for joining. Much appreciate you stopping by. So yeah, DIY light kits. Honestly, unless you really enjoy soldering and cutting and shutting wires and putting stuff, resistors in your wiring and things like that, it can be a right pain in the ass. It really can. For the amount of money you can buy a lot of cheap light kits for, like $13 for a full light kit, indicators, reverse lights, a whole deal, makes you wonder why some of us build our own kits. So very rarely now will I build my own light kit unless it's something like the camel truck or something like that. But honestly, mate, I'd probably just buy one of those cheap light kits that's got essentially the right size globes for what you want to do with it. So yes, John, that's almost the colour I went with. I think now I can picture the colour you're going for. Are you going to go rusty and dirty, or are you going to go clean? I mean, I know I went rusty and dirty, but I sort of almost wish I went a clean look on it, because, like on this thing I'm talking about, because everyone rusts everything now. That's why I didn't rust that Blazer, because everyone just rusts everything. That's why I didn't rust this. I like that it's shiny and it's clean, and it's a nice good truck, man. Love this thing. Right. So yeah, for those of you that have the SU4C or the FR4 and you've got this roof cage set up, you can mount the Demon SG4C light kit straight to this. Get another what, mate? Another what? Another one of these. I need more shelves, is what I need. I need one for the Bush Tucker Man truck. Do you just need simple brakes and lights, Adam? Because on the Wish app, you can buy, much like the kit I put in that Viterra body, it's got 4 white lights and 4 red lights. So if you just want 2 headlights and 2 brake lights, well, you cut the excess off that you don't need, plug straight into your receiver, and you're done. And it costs about $3. So it makes a lot of sense. Rusty and dirty, all my other rigs are clean. Fair enough. Yep, that makes total sense. I mean, obviously, I've got the camel trucks all dirty. My Demon's sort of, it's not completely dirty, but where I've scratched it, I've rusted it. I hate that I've scratched that. I love that truck. I hate that I've scratched it. I'm just going to leave the scratches, so I'm not going to rust them. But it's nice to have a few not shiny trucks, you know. Right. What else are we talking about? Stuff. Things that turned up in the post. So, a little while back I did an order from RC Mate, as I do. And it was essentially that racing pinion that we just put on the express car. And a crap ton of accessories. When's your birthday? I want to see the BCA trailer print. My birthday is the 17th of April. If you'd all like to send me an awesome RC car for a present. Joking. So anyway, I ordered the gear for the express car, and I just went and picked a heap of random scale accessories from Extra Speed, because why not? They were having a sale. That's why I did it. So I got push bike. Now, I've already got one of these somewhere. I know I do. But it was dirt cheap, so it was like, you still got the Ascender. I do, Steve. Right here. So this is how she's looking. I'm waiting on, I've ordered a battery relocation tray, which will put the battery in the front where I want it. I'm waiting on new spur gears, which hopefully will be here in 3 or 4 days-ish. And I'm also waiting on a spur cover. And then I think it's ready to go. So, it's come up pretty tidy for a dirty old Chevy, I think. It's basically a new truck now. I did put brand new front and rear bumpers on it, bumper mounts, the whole deal. I actually got those, were they local? Yes, local, $16, brand new. Cheap. Yeah, so it's nearly ready to go. Cheers, only want 2 dull headlights and 4 tail lights. There is an option. If you buy one of those light kits like I was talking about, you can put a tiny resistor in the positive of the white lights. How those light kits are done, it's sort of, the power comes in and the power sort of shoots out into all the different ones. So if you put a resistor just before, like this far before the globe, it'll dull the power of the globe. But you just got to watch, if you put too big a resistor, it'll take too much power out and the globe won't light. So, yeah, fun and games. Yeah, once the Viterra is finished, the group's going to know first. I'll put up a post, right, the Viterra is finished, it's for sale. I'm thinking I'm going to put 350 Australian dollars on it. These trucks still fetch a lot of money here. You can still buy them brand new here for, I think, 560 Australian dollars. I've pretty much gone over and replaced everything on it. I've rebuilt the whole truck. I've put new radio on it as well. I think for 350 it's a pretty good buy. Those bodies are like $80. 80 Australian dollars for those bodies. And that one there has never been ran. Originally, I bought it from a deceased estate and then sold it to Harley and then bought it back off Harley. So, yes. Tyres and wheels, brand spanking new. Most of the truck's new. Brand new servo in it too. Earl's joined us. Thanks for joining Earl. Says, what's up, everyone? Talking about what turned up in the post. We started with my push bike. That's more of a scale garage accessory, I think, than a truck accessory, because it says it's a 110 BMX. Next to anything, unless it's the CC01, I mean, even next to that, it's pretty small. What else did I get? I got a weapons box. Just because it was cheap. Like, don't just buy stuff because it's cheap. Otherwise, you're going to end up with a box full of Extra Speed tags. All right? I'll prove that by showing you the next item I ordered was a scale rope. Just because it was cheap. I I'll take that, take one of those too. Beer barrel with the tap, with the beer. Okay. Good thing you got it back cheap. Well, I mean, that's sort of the best thing, Harley. Like, Harley and I swapped bodies. I mean, even Harley said he wasn't using the body. It sits on his shelf. He drives his 10-2 now, so it was mates look after mates, essentially. So Harley and I have always had each other's back, which is wicked. Beer barrel, a beer, the tap for the barrel. It was just, I mean, I've got a barrel sitting literally just over there. Hasn't got a tap in it, that one, though. Couple of jerry cans. I like these because they're a little bit different to the others. So that's why I ordered those. What else did I get? Wooden crate. These things are great for scale garage fillers. Alright? If you want something that's going to take a decent amount of space, it's cheap, doesn't weigh heaps, these things are pretty good. I'll open it up so you can see it properly. The packaging doesn't help. Doesn't help because it's double wrapped. Adam, 2 lights for his trailer. Okay, so what you can do then, Adam, is just get one of those kits. You can dip the headlights in the orange stuff that I used, XS26 from Tamiya. That dulls them a bit. And then if you want to run trailer lights, snip off, say, the 2 brake lights that you put on the back of the trailer, run them through your trailer, and then put it onto a servo female plug. Then you can have a servo male plug on the back of your truck, or vice versa. Put the female on the back of the truck. You probably glue it to one of your bumpers. And then on your trailer, have the male plug. You've got yourself a scale trailer plug. You could also use, I probably haven't got any near me. No, I don't. I think they're called JR plugs, the little red ones. Use those. So you run both your brake lights into the same power, 2-in-1. 2-in-1 with your negative. Run that through to your, you'll say JR plug, and then JR plug on the truck that runs through to the rest of the light kit. That way you can put lights on your trailer. That it's literally just one plug to unplugged up. Anyway, so this is the wooden crate. They're pretty nice. I like these. I've got quite a few of these now. And they're just one of those things where it's like, yep, I could use another one of those. Because if you take a wooden crate and then you throw, I've got to have something here somewhere. Yeah. What's the JR plug then? I was thinking it was JST. I mean, you throw a couple of things like this on it. You could have one here, one sitting down next to it in your scale garage with a where did I throw that? With a scale rope sitting on top of your jerry can there somewhere. That's a good scale garage dealie. Is that the wooden box that slides open? I don't believe these ones do, or is it? You can buy some of these. Yes, it does. Only opens one way, I believe. It looks like it opens. Must do. Maybe it doesn't. I do know the ones you're talking about, though, Steve. I've got some of these. I've got some of those boxes somewhere that you can grab the corners, and it does open. You grab the corners and open the box, so you can hide scale accessories in there, for example, or a gun, scale gun. Make that a gun box. So there's that. What else did I get? Scale rope. We talked about that. Scale bloody creeper. Got myself a scale creeper for the garage. I thought this is cool. This will be good for scale photos. Robert's just bike leaning on it. Scale garage 101. Okay. It's just this is the fun with scale stuff. Right. Scale creeper with a little bag of the wheels and the legs for the wheels. So this is a rather detailed little bit. I don't know exactly how it goes together. I won't know until I open it up and have a look. But it is what it is. I don't know how they attach to the dealie. But anyway, a scale creeper. Put a battery in it. Battery in what, mate? What do you want a battery in? The Viteri, you mean? I'll put a battery in the box. Sorry, my bad. I'm with you now. I'm on the same page. What else did I get? 2 more things. Got myself, again for the scale photos. Now I know these aren't exactly to scale, but they're pretty cool. Wind up jacks. And if I'm correct, and I should be, functioning wind up jacks. 6 ton. That's a big ass jack. They are functional. They are fully metal. Takes a lot of winding. I don't know how low it goes. I guess we'll find out when the thread pops out the other side. Jesus. Okay, goes down to that low. That's pretty impressive. So these are something you can use. I quite like these. That's a nice looking jack. I know it's big, but this is a 6 ton version. Okay, this isn't your little bloody factory car version. Okay, there's what you call a big ass jack. I like that. Rob says the creeper is cool. It is. It is. I'm looking forward to figuring out how it goes together. I can't remember how much these jacks cost. $20-something, I think. But they're metal. I like that. Well, I think it's about $20, Robert. I could be slightly wrong. That wouldn't be the first time. But I got to tell you, I quite like that. Quite impressed. And to be honest, I thought it was only 1. I got 2. So that's just amusing myself for a moment here. That's good. Anyway, the last thing I got, because I'm the world's worst online shopper, but technically I'm really good at it. I don't know if that's a good thing. Right. Last thing I got was the Extra Speed Scale tent. And this was a part of the St. Patrick's Day sale. Brent's joined us. Thanks for joining, Brent. Much appreciated. Tony, need a drill to crank it up and down. Jesus Christ. Put the drill away, Tony. Okay? And that's on RC Mart. Yes. Yep. I mean, as you guys know, 99.95% of what I order is from RC Mart. If it's not from RC Mart, it's from Robert. Not Robert Gollan, Robert Mazza. So it's cross stuff. Yeah. That's the majority of who I order from. RC Mart and Robert Mazza. So I got myself a tent. Now, I'm not entirely sure if it's going to be big enough for a crawler to fit under it. I don't even know how it goes together. That's got to be the middle of the top of the tent. Let's have a little look-see, shall we? I'll do this. Got a little bag here. That has to be the top of the tent that each of the bits screw into. Has to be. So we have our 4 legs here. Let me just get this piece out. There is some grub screws in here. I don't know where they go. Yes, I do. I just figured it out. Because I'm smart like a fox. Does that go... Or does that go that way? It's got to go that way. And then... This is rather... Tell you what, crawler might fit under this. This is the case. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I reckon you get a crawler under this. Chris is with us. Hello, Chris. Alright, that goes like that. Assuming that goes that way, or does it go that way? I don't know. Where? And then this goes into here. And then one of your grub screws goes in underneath. Jesus, if that is that big, you'll get a crawler under this. Now, these were on special for $10. I should have bought 20 of them. One of these tents with that money is cheap. Now, there's also little bars, which I assume go with the longer grub screws into one of the bars and then into the other one so you can lift it up higher. That's what I'm thinking. And then we have the tent. Let me just have a bit of a look at the tent. I like this material. I need some of this material for my camper trailer. No, that's our tent. That'll go nicely over a crawler. Should have bought two. Damn it. So this is our scale tent. That material is really nice, proper tent material. Okay, your bars slide through the inside of the tent. This is good. I'm going to guess this one goes in here. This is like watching someone try and set up an actual camping tent the first time. You guys don't want to see that. There we go. I'm guessing. This is a guess. Did you say lift it higher? Well, Tony, it's got extra leg pieces so that if you want to lift it higher, I believe you can. Which is awesome. Does it go that way? Maybe it doesn't go that way. Maybe it goes that way. Where was the one with the leg on it? And then the leg piece goes through there. Well, I think I figured it out, people. I'm not going to spend this whole feed putting this tent together, just so you know. Meanwhile, 15 people leave. I'm not watching this clown put a tent together. No way. Then that goes in there. Grub screw goes in. That's how that goes. And then, yeah, you've got the extra piece. If you want to make it longer, taller. That's pretty cool. Instructions not included. I know, right? But all it takes, right, and I've just proven that, all it takes is you look at this stuff and you don't go, oh, this is shit. It's got no instructions. Oh, I wouldn't buy this shit again. Give yourself a minute. You can figure it out. Okay? Now, for those of you playing at home, which is everyone, if you put this in this way, you soon realise that it's too long. Okay? If you've got the added this piece attached to this piece and you put that through, you go, that's perfect fit. It must go that way because it does. It's just you can figure it out pretty quick. And then yeah, we've got four extra pieces for height extenders, which I like that. This is for the money. Go and buy a tent. This is bloody good. I'm really quite impressed. I like it when I order something. I mean, I knew I was going to like these. Okay, I knew I was going to like them. I was a bit. I don't know if this tent's going to be any good because it might be one of those little drift car ones, but it's not. It's actually a tent you can put your crawler under. So if you want to go out and have those scale photos with your little campfire, and I haven't got a scale accessory that I can just grab for camping. Your camping scale accessories, set them up. There's a fishing rod here somewhere. Don't know where I put it. Anyway, so we all like those scale photos, and don't feel bad if you spend 20 minutes setting up a photo. Don't feel bad at all. Steve, I figured it out and I'm dumb as a box of rocks. Are you saying that that's what I'm doing? Like I'm dumb as a box of rocks? But a lot of people will open this sort of stuff up and go, oh, this is shit. It's got no instructions. This hasn't got instructions either, but I have to figure that out. And you bet your ass, when I pay for something and it turns up my doorstep, I'm going to figure it out, okay? Unless I really can't. And then I'll Google a picture and go, oh, I see how it looks. Before jumping on social media and going, wow, because too many people do that. So, really impressed. That's a wicked, wicked little tent. I really quite like that. So I love when you buy stuff and it's surprisingly good. I've got one of those mini... Robert, how much? I've been looking everywhere for one of those, dude. I want one. How much? Come on, sell it to me. I'll credit you in photos. Coleman tent supplied by Robert. Coleman tent supplied by bloody Robert Gollum. Melinda Cox has joined us. Hello, Melinda. How you going? Good? Good. Hope you're good. Right. So I'm going to put all these bits back in here. So that's the last of what turned up in the post, I believe. Drew's joined us. Hello, Drew. I'll give you $20 plus postage to me any day. Send me a picture of it. I'll probably give you more than that. You know how much I love my scale stuff, and I love the photos. I've got a new phone coming, right? So excited. Recently, I dropped my phone a lot. Wouldn't sell it though. Damn you, Robert. Help me find one then. Tease me with your tents. I'm just going to sit this up to the side and clean up my desk after the feed. But yes, can recommend if you want a crawler tent, go and check out the extra speed ones. I don't know what they cost normally. I got mine. I think it was $10 on special. St. Paddy's Day special. But honestly, I don't think they were that much more not on special. So if you want a cool tent for your trucks, if you're capable of figuring out how they go together, you'll be fine. It's pretty easy. I need to swig of my coffee because I've been talking lots. Then, what's the time? It's 12 o'clock already. Days just flying by. How long is this live feed going? Can someone tell me how long it's been going for? Because if you could, that'd be wicked. And we'll do probably one more thing and then we'll call it a day. I just need to know how long it's been going for. Right. Same thread, same thread. Real quick. Real beeping quick, like. 49 minutes. Okay. We can squeeze a couple more things in, I reckon. Okay, so. Beadlock wheel. A lot of people have issues with beadlock wheels and putting them together. So, I'm going to show you a couple of quick tips and tricks. Steve, go to Walmart's. We don't have Walmart's. When they take their summer stuff down, I see their mini display sometimes. We don't have Walmart. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Given the look at the pictures you see of people from Walmart, you know, we've all seen the photos. I'm not entirely sure it's a bad thing we don't have them. Okay, beadlock wheels, 3 bits. Tyre, foam inside tyre. This is your beadlock. Now, these beadlocks from Cross are 5 bolt. Easy, okay? Make easy. First step, you've got to do this with all beadlocks. So put the inner ring in, okay? Now I push mine in straight through, right? You'll stretch the outside of the tyre a little bit and have it sitting like yay. And then you're going to twist them. BCF used to have them. I don't think I've seen them in there either, Melinda. That's boating, camping, fishing, for those of you that don't know. All they do these days is make terrible ads with crappy songs. Right, so now I've got to put me beadlock ring inside here. Now these particular Cross wheels, these foams are pretty hard, but they perform well. So it's a bit of a massage to get the beadlock ring in there, but as you've just seen, you can do it pretty easy. Right, now, before you even worry about the next step, try and have your beadlock ring centered in the foam. That's just going to make life a bit easier. So what I'm doing now is going around, giving that a bit of a squeeze so that I'm centering the beadlock ring and the foam. I was fortunate to find mine in the market. I haven't been in a market in so long, Robert. So long. Chris, I've asked at BCF, ARB and Raise Outdoors, and none of them will sell you one. Well, they just didn't have them. Right, so that's your first step, okay? Beadlock ring in, centre it. Now, you can take your finger, apply a little bit of saliva. You're going to rub it just around that inside ring there, and the rubber on the inside of that. Okay, you can use, if you don't want to lick your finger and do it, you can use a tiny amount of shock oil. Right, literally just a smidge. Now this is just going to make it so that it'll slide into the bead a bit easier. If you put too much, it'll slide in, and then when you tighten it, it'll pop back out. So just a smidge. Smidge on the front one. Didn't get any. Well, you can see. You can barely see. Just that little shiny bit there. Barely any. This just makes it so the rubber will move a bit easier. It won't grab everything so much. And they also looked at me like I was silly. Some people just don't get what it is to have scale stuff, mate. Right. So I'm going to put the front of the wheel in. Now, as I do this, I'm going to just work my way around the wheel and make sure. Let me move the camera so that you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Excuse the mess in the background. Right, stay there. Try not to talk too loud so I don't scream down your ear holes. Now you see, I want to try and give a really good description of this to make it easier for you guys that have issues. You see this little lip here? That's where your wheel needs to sit, okay? So your bead lock sits here, and that sits just on the outside of it. So, we put the front of our wheel in, like yay. Now, I'm holding the wheel like this, so my thumb's holding a little tiny bit of pressure on the front of the rim. I'll just go around and move the front of the wheel, or the front of the tyre, so that it sits in that front bead just the same all the way around. You can actually hear that then drop into the ring. So when that's the same all the way around, I'll squeeze top and bottom and just turn the whole wheel around. That sort of evens everything out. Lovely. Now, because these cross wheels are 5 bolts, it's easy. Simpletons. Line up your top one. Now, you have to do the same process here. So, I'm just going to sit that in a little bit. You can see that it's not right in there. I'm going to hold my thumb across it. I'm just going to do that lip trick. Rotate it around. And as you do, don't pull it too far, obviously, otherwise you'll pull it out of where it needs to sit. As you do, everything, once you give it a squeeze, will sit down where it needs to. Now, you can see here, that bead on the back, the bead lock ring, is actually off a bit. This is another reason why you put a little bit of oil or something on the rubber. To give the option, you might have to use your driver, but sometimes you can have the option of actually giving that a bit of a rotate while it's in where it needs to be. So now that lines up. Right? Now before we do it up, we're going to go around, just make sure this is perfect as we can get it. And yes, it matters. Now don't feel bad if you do it up and then you look the other side and it's gone a bit wrong. You just undo the bolts, try again. Now, with a lot of these wheels, especially the 5-bolt ones, you can, with the correct driver, 1 bolt, that started, okay? Really easy. This has gone straight in. You can see no swear words have been said. First bolt's gone in. Now I'm going to put one the opposite side. That's gone in. No swear words needed. Right, which is lovely. If, however, you have issues because, I'll use this as a pointer. If you have issues because the back part of the wheel and the front part of the wheel are too far apart, you grab yourself a longer bolt of the same thread. You can put that through, put one on the other side. I've got 2 here. Put one on the other side of the wheel, and you do these up until you can get one of your actual bolt, actual beadlock bolts in, right? So have a couple of spare bolts hanging around. A lot of G-made, I think it is, wheels, well, they do actually come with longer bolts. If they don't, go to your local hardware store. You can pick up a couple of bolts, the same thread as your beadlock ones, and that'll make it so they're really easy to go together. Now, I'm going to grab the last of the bolts for this wheel, and we're going to start them, and then I'm going to show you the best way of tightening it down. So, if you've got any cross wheels like this and you find it hard to put it together, I really hope this helps, because I mean, these have to be one of the easiest beadlock wheels, in my opinion, that you will put together. Right, now you notice when I'm putting these bolts in, I'm not just cranking all the way down on it. That's one of the biggest mistakes you'll make. Right, so what I'm going to do now is wind down on that a few turns. I'm going to come over here, skipped one, I've got around here. Wind that down a few turns. Go to this one. I'm going to level it up. I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to wind down a few turns. And then I'm going to go to the next one. I'm going to level it up. So when I say level it up, I'm not winding this one as much as I did this one. Go around to the next one. Level it up a bit. The next one. So what you can see I'm doing, I'm actually pulling the wheel together from all sides, piece by piece. If you crank this side and then crank this side, you'll probably pull on the front. I still hope it's together. Look at perfect seal. Perfect. If you crank this one and then crank this one, you might pull the bead out here on the front. That's why you want to go around. You just want to take your time. Just do a few turns in each one. So the first 2 turns I'm doing are just taking up the slack. You can see now that's starting to pinch. Right, nip that one up a little bit. Go around and nip that one up a little bit. You can see the gap in that bead lock closing. Lovely. Now, what you will do when you finish this is take one out at a time, put a tiny bit of Loctite on it. And the reason you do it this way instead of doing it all at the start, you don't want to Loctite all your bolts, screw it up, then have to take all your bolts out, lose half your Loctite, and then start again. Robert, I always do a star pattern. It's the best way to do it, mate. Same with the real car. When you change the tyre on your real car, you always do a stud pattern so that it goes on evenly. Otherwise, you get the death wobbles going down the road. Done. That easy. No swear words. No carrying on. Now, if you put it together and the rim's sort of sitting a bit funny, odds are it's just where the foam is sitting in relation to the rim and etc. and so on. You can go and drive your truck, and after driving it for so long, it will sort of work itself to the middle. Or you can sit it on your bench, push down a few times either side, sort of have a bit of a look. See, you can massage that foam again if you need to try and centre stuff back up, and just sort of get it so that it's where it needs to be. And once you actually start driving on that, everything will be sitting Mickey Mouse. So does anyone find that handy? Is that a handy little how-to? If you have any issues, I mean, I've shown you how easy these are to put together. They're just crazy easy. Let me just fix this up. Put you over near the crapper. You can see the crapper there if you swipe the comments out of the way. All right, swing that back around. Lovely. So remember, wherever I put them, if you're having issues putting your wheels together, 2 longer bolts to start. Very handy. Hopefully that helps some people out there that have any issues with that. Drew, I always turn the bolts down till there's tension, then do half a turn and move to the next one. Yep. Star pattern seems to work the best if you can. So you go here, 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 here. Here, 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 here. That way everything goes down evenly. If you just go around and around, you're pulling and twisting on stuff, and that's when you got more of a chance. I mean, you might get away with it a heap of times, but you'll have more of a chance of something not quite going to plan. Sorry, the light was in the way. You've got more of a chance of something not going to plan just by the way it talks on the rubber as it goes down in there. So yes, I think that's probably about it for today, which is good. I mean, if you guys got any questions, feel free to ask. But I mean, that's a few little tips and tricks and such in there. I know there's not heaps, but it was just I got a bit of time. I'm going to do a live feed, and some of you guys like to watch them. So, exciting stuff. What tyre do I like the best? I use Hyrax. I like a scale tyre, Steve. It's got to look right, and perform good, right? I will lose some performance over looks. Now, my TRX4, let's have a look here, uses Pitbull Mad Beasts, okay? Reasonably scaled looking tyre. They're a lot skinnier than the factory TRX tyre, and while we're at it, Tony, check out that bumper, all right? Tony loves the bumper. They're a lot skinnier than the standard TRX4 tyre, which is half the reason I got them in the first place. I wanted a tyre that looked more so scale than those big, chunky, horrible things that the TRX4s come with, because I don't like those. It's more realistic. So, they call these tyres silent assassins, and when I first heard that, I was like, okay, if you say so. They're actually really good. I was quite surprised. The factory foams that these came with were far too soft for this truck. I mean, this truck's really, really bloody heavy, actually. All the brass options and such, and all the scale accessories, it's got a lot of weight to it. Tony, I broke a bolt once from not doing the star pattern. You don't break bolts from not doing the star pattern. You break bolts because you've either stripped it, and it gets really tight, and you go, why won't this go snap? And then you swear. Or you over tighten it. It's not because of the star pattern. So, and don't feel bad. We've all done it. I've broken bolts. Everyone that's watching here that's done enough tinkering has broken bolts. Mr. Chris Leach has joined us. I bet he's broken some bolts. We've all done it. It's just, sometimes you have that one bolt that doesn't feel cross-threaded. It's not until you get like 3/4 in that it feels cross-threaded and you go, I've come this far. Snap. Happens to the best of us. I just hope that you can get the bolt out that you broke. So yes, on this truck, Steve, the Pitbull Mad Beasts, brilliant tyres. I think without really realising it, turning into a bit of a Pitbull fanboy with some of these tyres, because I've got more Pitbull tyres than anything else. So that's what this has got. Let me just sit this up here. That's quite heavy. Then we've got this truck. These are the Pitbull Mad Beasts, and again you can see scale. I went for scale looks before I went for are they any good. Quite surprisingly, yet again, once the mould release is gone, now you can tell. Well, you can see this tyre's nice and shiny and black. This tyre is not so black. Okay. Once you're out driving and you see stuff like these little dags, can you see, like just in the middle there, this little daggy stuff? Once all that disappears off your tyres and your tyres actually start to come in, if that makes sense, you know what I mean when you're out there driving a brand new ones. Once they come in, then you go, okay, now I know what I'm working with. I drove this truck for I think 2 hours when I took it out first, and it probably took half an hour for the tyres to come in. So once they did, it was like, oh, geez, they're actually really good tyres, which was nice because they're not expensive tyres either. The only thing I don't like about these tyres is this stupid logo on the side. So Pitbull, if you do watch this, please don't put logos on the side of tyres. If you want to make a white wall tyre, I'm behind that 100%, 110%. These little logos, I've never seen a real tyre with one little logo on the side of it. I'm sure someone probably makes one, but I've not seen one. There were 6 bolts per wheel, so now there's 5. You're going to let water or something get in, Tony. See if you can extract that bolt. I know it's a pain in the bum. Even if you haven't got the stuff at home to do it, take your wheel somewhere. There will be someone that can help you extract that bolt. So there's those pit bulls, and then stuff here everywhere. And then I've got these ones, which I forget what these ones are. These are the Brave and Berserkers. Again, scale. Love them scale. Look at that shock travel. That's pretty dang good right there, mate. Right? I wanted another scale tyre. They look awesome. They're probably a touch small. I probably prefer them a bit more to the size of what's on the FR4C. But they're a really good tyre. Quite surprising, actually. I will say, in really, really fine sand, The 1.55s that are really skinny are a bit shite. I mean, that's going to be how it is, isn't it? Because they haven't got much room to bite, and there's a lot of weight sitting here. These tyres in the sand, wicked, really good, but they're a pretty fat tyre. These are 115 millimeters tall. Now, I've been pestering Cross. Please put 1.55s on your trucks. Please put 100mm tyres on your trucks, please. Hopefully one day we can make that happen. Because these trucks with 100mm tyres and 1.55s, they're just beautiful. They really are. I mean, I love these wheels. They're really pretty. They're nice. They're machined beautifully. Really nice wheel. But I mean, come on. Look at that. I know they're dirty. But get some pit bulls, mate. They're pretty damn good. Pretty damn good. Walt, losing nuts kills your bolts. Oh, losing. I do need to wake up a bit. So yeah, get yourself some pit bulls if you want to try something. They're not hugely expensive. The foams in these are really good. This is a heavy truck, and it's taken this weight pretty well. The foams in the other one, again, brilliant. The only issue I've had has been that truck. Now, I think there was actually options where you can pick thicker, heavier duty foams that I didn't quite see, so I didn't pick. So therefore, I got the lightest one they make, and it was just stupid light. It'd be good in a bog stock standard SCX10, but not a ridiculously overweighted TRX4. So yes, I hope that helps. Anything else? Has anyone else got any questions? I'm getting a bit peckish. Lunchtime here. Need me some lunch. 4.19. 4.19 is same size as 1.55. 1.55 is the wheel size. Okay? The 4.19 you're referring to is the tyre size. I can't remember what the exact conversion is. Does anyone know what 4.19 inches is in millimetres? But, I mean, you've got the option. If you want to run the standard wheels, you can get smaller tyres. For example, I'll move this out of the way here. The Vitera, they're 100mm 1.9s. So, bit of a difference, as you can see illustrated here. These are awesome tyres. They work really well. But that's a much more scale looking tyre. So, Cross RC, as much as they make beautiful trucks, they need to make a licensed body to attract more people to their products. Now, I love the idea of a licensed product, but here's what the breakdown is, I guess. Cross RC, I mean, especially in my opinion, if someone has a different opinion, that's fine. Cross RC make premium products. And they're not the cheapest truck you'll buy. That doesn't mean they're expensive. You get good value for money. There you go, John Davies. So a 4.19 inch tyre is 106 millimeters, which is actually 10 mil smaller than that. That's a pretty beefy tyre. The cross trucks aren't what you would call cheap, but like I say, in my opinion, they're a pretty premium thing. So if you go and put the price on top with a licensed body, that price is going to go up higher. And then you're going to have more people say, oh, why is it so expensive? Licensed bodies aren't cheap, unfortunately. So, I mean, I personally love what Cross does. Stuff like this, that's a real truck. Now, because it's Russian, they don't have to pay, because it's not called the Gaz 66, they don't have to pay the stuff, you know. And because I don't even think companies around anymore, same with this. They don't have to pay the stuff. The UC6 they make is a real truck. The HC6 is a real truck. The MC8 is a real truck. The only thing that's not is the Demon and the PG4. So when it comes down to it, for a truck that's their own design, I think it's pretty damn good. Yeah, I mean, it's, 'you've got to get to a point somewhere where you say, we don't want to make the truck cost more, so we just won't put a licensed body on it. Why does Cross install servos on the axles? Because you get better performance out of your servo, Tony. Essentially, if you've got a chassis mount, it will look more scaled, but it won't. Your servo won't push as hard being up there. When it's mounted on your axle, it's pushing straight across. When it's mounted up here, it's pushing here and here and here and here, depending on where your truck's flexing, etc., and so on, and doesn't push as hard. That's why. So performance, basically. You can get, I think it's Worthy Made make a chassis mount servo setup for the Demons, but I mean, I'm not that phased by it. Really, when it comes down to it, there's some degree where it's a toy truck, and you're still going to have massive steering bars going across. Robert says royalty and license rights. Yeah, it's the licensing fees. That's why. And they just licensing is expensive. That's why trucks like the Vitera and the Axial, as standard as they were, and I use that term in the sense of you buy the flagship Demon, it's got all metal everything, etc., and so on. You buy the SCX-10 with the Jeep body on it, it's got the sort of the bare minimum upgrades that we can put on it because it's got a Jeep body on it. Jeep, they're going to be asking a good bit of money for their licensing, etc. Walt, Demon is close to a Datsun 710. I think it's inspired by a few different vehicles, but it's not based on any one vehicle. And that's from Cross have told me it's not based on any one vehicle. So, I mean, there's lots of different stuff you can see in it. But, like I said, I think it's a pretty truck. It looks good. It'd be so easy for them to design a truck that just looks shit. Like, imagine if they did a rip-off Defender and it was just a god horrible mess with a roof that was too short or something like that. It'd look terrible. I think for what they've done a pretty damn good job. I mean, part of the reason I like it. Any other questions? I hope that answered your question, Rob. Or that was my opinion on your statement. I think it was a question. I forget. Robert, I want to see progress pictures tonight of your Express chassis. Okay. Definitely pretty trucks. Have you had one in your hand, Robert? When I took my Demon, my green one, around to Christian's place, I sat it on his bench. I said, "What do you think of this?" I kid you not. I'll use this as an example. No, I won't, because Lars will meme me with it. Lars likes to make memes of me, and I'm not having him doing it with a Vitera in my hand. Right, so pretend this is my SG4C Demon. I sat it on Christian's bench and said, "There you go. What do you think of this?" And he sort of sat there for a minute, and he went, "I want one." Christian wouldn't normally do that, and he literally bought one 10 minutes later. As soon as we could get hold of Robert, we ordered him a truck. And Christian's not, he's not the sort of bloke that's just going to go, "Oh, cool truck, here, buy it." It's got to be a nice truck for Christian to go, "Wow, I really like this thing, I want to buy it, and I'll buy it right now, let's do it, let's get it ordered." How about the two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive transmission? For what? You mean a dig transmission? Robert, no, I haven't had the pleasure yet. Put an ad in the paper, Robert. Has anyone got a Cross RC that I can have a look at? Look, they seriously are nice trucks. I mean, you guys know I love mine. I really do. For good reason. I can't wait to drive this truck now, sitting here looking at it. Whenever I sit here and look at one of my trucks, I think to myself, I remember when I took it out last, and I remember how much I enjoyed just watching it slowly creep over stuff, and it makes me want to drive my truck more. So yes. Well, so what did you want to know about the dig ones, Tony? They just unlock the front diff or lock it, depending on how you've got it set. They're not really used that much, really. You might use it in a full-blown comp crawler if you want to just pull the front of your truck around or something like that. But yes, for your typical crawler like this, nah. It's not something I'd invest my time in. Oh, I just love this thing. I love it. When I'm over in SA, dude, cuddle, Jesus Christ. When you come to SA, Robert, give us half a day, give me some notice, I'll charge up some batteries, we'll bring this truck and something else, we might bring the Mammoth, I'll take you wheeling, my wheeling spot, right? I guarantee you can drive this one, I'll let you drive that one. I reckon by the end of the day, you'll be sending Robert a message going, mate, how much for this particular truck? Because they're something else. They really are. Right, Steve says he's got a question and don't get mad. Tony, how well do they work? Well, that all depends on what you want to use it for, Tony. If you want to use dig transmission for a full-blown comp truck, they can work really well. It's just a matter of, one, your driving skill, two, if your driving skill is good enough to make this get you where you need to go, etc. Robert Mazza's here. Everyone wave hello to Robert. Steve, I know you have a lot of Cross trucks. Do you buy them or does Cross give you them? No, I buy them from Robert Mazza. It's funny you bring that up, actually. Dude commented on a post the other day going, oh, you're only commenting because you're sponsored by Cross. I said, I wish. And then Robert jumped on there and said he buys all of his trucks from me. He gets a good price, which I do. Robert looks after everyone here. Robert does look after me. I push Robert because he's a bloody good bloke. I don't just push anyone. If I push someone for you to go and buy something from, that's because they're decent people. I push RC Mart as well because they are decent people. They love the hobby. They're not just here to make money. They attend events in their areas, and there was a little bit of talk of me, hopefully, I don't know if it's going to work, but hopefully doing a big vlog of a big event, but there's a lot of complications that probably won't work. But anyway, no, I buy my trucks, I buy them all from Robert. I can buy them in Australia, but honestly, I would rather pay the postage and get it from Robert and know that I've got the best after-sales service for Cross trucks in the world. Fact. I'm not mad either. I want one but can't afford them. Speak with Robert. He'll give you the best possible price he possibly can. I don't know if Robert's got any payment options. I don't know that. You can have a chat with him. Honestly, I know some of these trucks aren't cheap, but once you get the truck and you build it and you drive it, you'll say to yourself, you know what? For what it is actually pretty cheap. For what you get, they are cheap. I mean, look, this is a factory truck, which is $450 US, right? Metal diffs, metal links, fancy diff covers. That's beside the point. Full metal shocks. Look at this is a Lexan body truck, right? We get chrome strips, door handles, roof cage, snorkel, mirrors, full spare tyre cover, full light kit, chrome everywhere. I mean, it's just... And the wheels are essentially these, but the black version of them that come with this kit. Once you sit down... Hello, Jason. Jason Hoy, I did see you peek in, mate, sneak in. Hoy Fab's in the house. Everyone say hello to Hoy Fabs. When you sit down, mate, and you work out your value for money, in my opinion, and that's all it is, and if someone wants to get crabby with me, that's fine. In my opinion, you'd have to be bonkers to buy an SCX-10 over something like this. You just would. I've had, Steve, the absolute pleasure of having Robert Mazza work with Cross, and they released a limited edition Johnny Burden special edition truck. Let me move some stuff here. I'll show you what truck it was. This truck's quite weighty now. I'll put those big diffs under it. Right, sit that one down there. Right. This is one of my favourite trucks of all time. This is one of Cross's older trucks. And I love it. I think it's just the bee's knees. It is just epic. It's fat. It looks like an old Australian Fairlane, and I love that. Look at it. Right? these axles really weighty. You can't wait to drive this truck again. Anyway, so one of these trucks, I bought the kit and I built it, and I talked to Robert and I said, you know what, this kit's really nice. All it needs is a bit better shocks and a bit better drive shafts, and it's brilliant. So Robert got back to me, however much after that, and quite surprised me really, and said, we want to release the Johnny Burton Special Edition with upgraded drive shaft, upgraded shocks and such. We want BCRC decals, your signature, and we'll do up a proper decal sheet and etc. and so on. And I damn near cried, because how big of an honour could you get? That was massive. Still to this day, I reckon it's the biggest honour I've had in RC. To have your name put on a truck, epic, epic. And the best thing is, I know everyone that owns them, which is awesome. I love these things. Look, the steering lock is not brilliant, right? I'll be honest, it's not brilliant, but I don't care. I really don't. You watch this thing drive, and just the way it reacts. Watch my YouTube videos, anyone that wants to see this and any of these other cross trucks in action. I do my videos so hopefully you guys can see why I love these trucks so much. They're just epic. Nothing drives like a cross truck. Like, a lot of blokes are going, oh, wait till you drive that Viterra, you'll fall in love with it. And I go, oh, no. I want someone to come out with me and drive the Viterra, or your SCX-10, brand new one, don't care, and then drive this, or drive that farm truck. If you drive that farm truck, you will buy one. I guarantee it. That there, oh, that's probably the nicest truck I've driven. I mean, I've got, just so you know, yeah, I'm a bit of a cross fanboy, but I'll admit it. But I've got a CC01. I love this thing to death. Love it. I've got the Tower X4 that you've seen before. I've got an 8x8 SCX-10 up there. I've got an SCX-10 sitting over there. I've got an MST Bronco sitting back there somewhere. I've got a forklift over there that Robert Gon thinks I should take crawling. It was the demon that got me onto Johnny's channel. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, Robert's in the States. And look, I know postage can be a bit cruel. Robert does his best on that too, which is just epic. I mean, he doesn't have to. He can just say, tough shit, this is the price, mate. If you don't like it, don't pay it. Robert goes above and beyond what anyone else ever has for me in any shop. So I go, okay, how much for this truck delivered? I don't go, how much is the truck and then how much is the post. I just say, how much is the price delivered? And then once he gives me the price, I go, okay, in however many weeks, I know I can afford this truck, I'll contact you then and buy it. Walt, cross trail truck, better than RC four-wheel drive? In my opinion, yes. I won't buy a RC four-wheel drive anymore. I've had too much really bad luck with RC four-wheel drives. Roro, thank you for the live feed. Got to go. Thanks for joining, mate. Really appreciate it. And same with everyone. I appreciate anyone that gives their time to come and watch one of these feeds. No one has to. I'm just a clown tinkering on RC stuff. Last, no memes about clowns. All right, I can say it now. But anyway, I'm passionate about these trucks, and that's why I do everything I do and try and help people, etc. and so on with these trucks. If someone messages me and says, how can I set up my tactic radio? My love for the hobby is why I help people do stuff, even at 4 a.m. or whatever. If I'm awake, I'll answer your message. So if the dog's woken me up so he can go out for a slash, a whiz, whatever you Americans want to call it, tinkle, I will reply to your message. And I regret it instantly, because then like 15 more replies come through. Oh, while I've got you, how do I do this, and this? And what's your opinion on this, and that? I don't turn anyone away. I do my utmost. I said years ago, one day I want to be a big name in RC. And I want to be a big name in RC for the right reasons. For people to say, I like this dude because he helps. You know, he's willing to help anyone, and he has the cool competitions that are fun. It's not just like a photo, that sort of stuff. Steve, I own them all. I own the TRX4, have 2 TF2, 5 Viteras, I assume you mean. I own them all, but not cross. Would love to have one. I'm this close to selling my TRX4. The only reason I keep it now is because in case Samex brings out more parts. I love Samex parts. I love the company. I love what they're about, etc. and so on. I bought all the trucks because I bought all the parts for the Samex Defender because of how much I loved the excitement of his new parts and how much difference it made to the truck. Now it's sort of parts are starting to slow down a bit. There's only so many bits you can make for a truck. What he can make is sort of starting to slow down, etc. and so on, which is fine. So my brain's like, well, why am I keeping the truck? Because I'd rather drive my cross trucks. True story. Walt, you have many late nights. I do. And that's mostly caused by the back injury from bloody however long ago now. It still gets me. Like, today's not a good day with it either. I shouldn't have probably sat here this long. Johnny isn't joking. Every time I text him about purchases, I can see him laughing at me. Yep. Bloody Tony. Why does he keep buying these bloody wheels? They all look the same. So yeah, but look, there's times where Tony will message me at stupid o'clock, and I was like, oh, bloody hell, Tony. Smash out, a few messages, and I've sort of helped him out, I've given him some advice and whatever else. And the other day he was messaging me, oh, look, I went out with a bunch of guys, and they were, I think, more so comp crawler sort of people than anything. And from what I can tell, mostly Tony's done trail stuff. I said, look, don't get bogged down in comp stuff. Competition can wreck hobbies real quick. Some people are great in the comp community, and that's fine. Okay? Not everyone's great in the comp community. There's too many people that go, your truck's shit because you haven't spent $5,000 on it. It's just, or you're cheating if you can beat me with your truck that costs less and crap like that. Take your trucks out, your cars, your Tamiya trucks, your diggers, whatever. Take them out and enjoy them. It doesn't matter if you're by yourself or you're with 20 mates. If you can go out with your truck and enjoy it, it's money well spent. And if your missus ever complains about how much you spend, you say, I could just go drinking. I barely drink at all. I drink more coffee than I do anything else, which you guys know anyway. Don't mind me. Scale broom's coming out. But there's a lot worse hobbies we could all have. We could all be, bloody drug addicts, and we could all be horrible people, but we're not. We've got a hobby that's something we're passionate about, something we enjoy doing. So yeah, love the hobby, enjoy it for the right reasons. That's one of my biggest things. So Ashley's joined us. Thanks for joining, Ashley. Unfortunately, you've joined right at the pointy end of the live feed. I've got to come and see you this week, Ashley. I need some paint and stuff. Ashley runs Hobby Habit, one of my local hobby shops. Here's where I got the bloody Rampage from, which reminds me I've got to get out with the two little trucks and drive those some more. Steve says, this RC stuff is addicting. It is, dude. I've got RC. I don't even know how many trucks I've got. I don't even know if I want to count them. Because if I count them, I'll go, oh my God, I've got this many trucks. And that'll stop me from saying, Robert, how much is this truck? Because I've already got my eyes on like 3 or 4 different trucks. So, yeah. Walt, exactly, I take veterans out. Good on you, mate. Good on you. What did I take out? The last time I took out the PG4L, which is hiding behind there, and this on a trailer, I went to Seaford Beach, which is 10 minutes down the road from me. And just as I was heading down the big concrete ramp to go to the beach/trails, there was an old fella sitting in a wheelchair just sort of looking out, out off the beach and into the coast and just enjoying the sight. And then I drove past him and he's like, oh, wow, isn't that incredible? I reckon 45 minutes to an hour I stood there talking to this old fella about the tiny trucks and, how much things have changed and all this sort of stuff, to the weather, to how bad society is these days and everything else. And it's like, this guy, he's been around, he's done his time. For him to just want to sit there and have a chat with someone about something I'm interested in, that's awesome. So I'll give him the time of day to sit there and talk about what he's interested in. So if you go out and someone says, oh, that's a cool truck, have a chat with them. You might be very surprised. Mike says, don't count them. I'm not planning to. There's too many trucks that I want for me to count the ones I've got. Okay. Birthday's coming up, so if anyone wants to buy me a present, if you don't know how many you have, you don't have enough. Exactly. I need more trucks. I do. Well, that's the thing too. I mean, some trucks I've got, like the CCO one, I know I don't drive that much. I don't mind that I don't drive it much, but it's a classic. It's a rare truck. So I'll never sell it. I don't need to sell it. I sometimes I'll come into the garage here and I'll work on my trucks, and then I'll just sit here for a bit, and I might look at the garage and plan out a bit of what I want to build, or I'll just stare at some of my trucks, and it's like, man, I'm so lucky to have the stuff I've got. It's a bloody good hobby. It is. We're very lucky to have what we've got. All of us are. We're lucky to have trucks that will run on more than AA batteries. That was painful. So yes. All right. Any last questions before we call it a day? Because I need some lunch. So I'll give it a couple of seconds if there's any more questions. I'll answer those quickly, and then if not, we'll call it a day until the next live feed's going to be, I'm pretty sure, unless I decide to do another random one, the next live feed is going to be the big racing one, where we talk about the new crawler motors and such that got coming out. So I reckon that'll be, and that's all male dependent. The next live feed 2 should be with my new phone, so it'll be interesting to see if the quality's any better. Hopefully it is. I mean, this phone's not that old. I keep dropping it in a cracked screen, and for what it costs these days to replace the screen, you might as well buy a new phone. Robert says, thanks Johnny for another great feed. My pleasure. I hope I didn't offend anyone. Lots of people get offended really easily, too easily. I don't, okay? I'm an Aussie. We throw shit at each other, we take shit, and we laugh about it. That's what we do. So the world needs to change. It needs to go back 20 years, I reckon. Walt says, thank you for your feed. My pleasure. It is my pleasure. Thank you guys for watching. Once I shut this off and have some lunch, I'll come back in here and clean up my garage. Because now I've got a truck there, I've got a truck there, I've got a half-built camper trailer sitting there, I've got a truck there. Shot everywhere. Lovely. Only for terror people. They do get offended pretty quick, Robert. They do. So a lot of them don't do jokes either. I'll give you the tip. But anyway, it's all in good fun. Tony says, agree, life's too short to take anything serious. Very true. Unless it's like open heart surgery, Tony, then I want my doctor to take that serious. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. Feel free to give it a share. I keep smashing on about I want lots of views so I can get more companies doing more stuff with us. I still want to do a giveaway with the truck. That's my goal. I'm working towards it. I'm contacting people. I'm pestering people. So fingers crossed we can make it happen. Even if it's an end of year giveaway, I want to give a truck away at some stage. Worst case, I'll buy another $100 Vitara and give it to someone that hates them. Well, all right. Thank you very much for watching. We shall see you on the next one. Take care. Take care of each other and have fun with your RCs. Cheers.